Going on, you guys? It's Toby's Talk
And
Show.
I'm Zach here, the new guest.
Yes. This is my roommate Zach. He'll be joining us for today.
I will be.
Yeah, he will. Obviously, very talkative to start. And we're going to be talking about, what are we talking about, Zach, today?
We're talking about the Knicks.
Yes.
And where we see the future.
We are both diehard Knick fans.
But I'm a little more optimistic than Toby is. I see them being a championship team this year. You know, Randall's going to step his game up. He was already almost MVP last year. This year is definite MVP season. Kemba will be an all-star, solid all-star. Hopefully doesn't have any injuries.
So, obviously, we have a very inspirational Knick fan over here. If you guys know, I'm a Knick fan, so I talk about the Knicks on this channel a little bit. I think maybe a second-round exit would be fair. It seems like you have championship aspirations.
Yeah, I mean, I see the Knicks matching up against the Nets really well. Like, I think Kemba's a little better than Kyrie.
Right.
Julius can clamp up Kevin.
Of course.
And throw RJ
on Harden.
On Harden and
it doesn't matter, right?
And the other guys like Joe Harris is like a bum. I mean, he's just a shooter. Like,
saw him in the playoffs.
You could throw Obi on him and he'd be.
You saw him in the playoffs. He was whack, trash,
he's terrible, man.
Garbage.
You know, when the pressure comes, he can't perform.
It's just Joe Harris ain't
fun. KD airballed that 3 in overtime against the Bucks. KD's also another guy who can't perform under pressure.
This guy's speaking facts.
But was on the line too. KD, watch your feet next time, right, buddy?
He knew that though, because he just wanted to show that he couldn't, be a clutch performer.
All right.
Put the foot on the line. So yeah, Zach, let me ask you a question real quick. So obviously the Knicks are in a position now where you look at them and you look at the Bulls and you see the Bulls and they kind of went a very different way, right, of trying to become a very good team where they kind of spent their assets, right? They traded their first-round picks.
Yeah, the Bulls are fucking idiots.
Yeah, go.
Okay,
crazy,
the Bulls are idiots. Like, what are they doing? They got a bunch of, like, washed-up dudes. Like, they got, like, in a mix with, like, Vooch. Vooch is a bum. I mean, like, who even, like... Before Vooch got traded to the Bulls, I haven't heard about Vooch for like 2 years.
Nah,
like,
Vooch the man. You know.
I mean, he's
Vooch
like
the man.
I mean, he's Dirk reincarnated, but like slightly worse.
Dirk reincarnated. A very interesting comparison for Nikola Vucevic, but we'll take it. But my question was for you, Zach.
He's a bum. He's a bust. He's not performing. But.
So obviously you're not very high on how the Bulls, transformed their team, but. How does that make you feel as a Knicks fan, seeing that we went a very different direction?
I'm excited as a Knicks fan, Toby. You know, we didn't get Kyle Lowry, who's like 86.
Yes.
Like, you know, we don't have that many elders on our team. We got a young team. We got a talented team. We got an exciting future ahead of us.
All right, so you talked about Obi Toppin for a little bit. Obi Toppin, he's a very questionable guy. A lot of people were very high on him. Obviously, his age, being 22 in the draft was a little scary and a bit of a question mark. He's almost 24, which is crazy. But Zach, what are your thoughts on Obi Toppin? He's getting old. Older. He's almost, getting to the years where it's like, all right, this is your prime. Let's see what you got, right? 26, 27, 28. So, what do you think? How do you think Obi Toppin's going to look as a Knick this year and in the future? Do you think it's going to work out?
I envision Obi. I don't see him as a superstar. I don't see him as an all-star. I see him as a solid role player.
All right, that's okay. And guess what?
He's gonna have to develop a catch and shoot game. He needs to become a little more consistent from 3, and he needs to step up his defense. But I don't see him becoming a superstar.
I mean, look, man. There's only 10, 15 superstars in the league. Obviously, not every draft pick.
Not even an all-star.
And look, man, that's fine. There aren't, there are, 22 all-stars, 24 all-stars every year. So it's very little, out of every player that gets drafted, probably 1 to 2 players per draft class, maybe 3 on average. So, you're not going to get an all-star every pick. But that's okay. I think Obi Toppin, he has the, fundamental skills that he'll always have as his building blocks that can make him a very good player, right? Because he has his athleticism. If he's aggressive, he's solid, right? And so I think with Obi Toppin, he's in a tough situation with the Knicks because obviously he's behind Julius Randle, and that wasn't the plan when we did draft him. We thought Randle wasn't going to be, a second All-NBA, team member. But I think Obi Toppin has a very good chance this league to be a very solid player, just like Zach says. But I think it may be a little hard, don't you think, having an all-star right above you, in the rotation?
Like I just don't see him as being a consistent shot creator just based off his game in college. I mean, he's already developed a lot. Like I don't see him ever becoming the guy on the team.
My last question for you, Zach. We don't want to make this video too long. Attention spans these days are getting low. But what are your thoughts on when the Knicks will win their next championship? It has been since 1973. I already told you
this year, buddy.
This year. All right, we got Zach on this year. 1973 was the last time the Knicks won a championship. That was over almost, that was almost, I guess, 50 years ago. Which is actually, is that true?
I think Julius Randle.
No, it's been 50 years since the first one. It's almost been 50 years since the second one.
I think Julius Randle and Kemba are one of the best duos in the NBA.
I think if Kemba Walker is healthy, and we could talk about this for a little bit. Kemba Walker, obviously, we all know his knee is the issue when you're looking at this. He is, when healthy, a all-star. He was an all-star starter, and people forget this 2 seasons ago. Literally 2 seasons ago, he was an all-star starter.
I think Kemba could have he's not going to be MVP, but he could have an MVP-level season.
I like that.
And then Julius will be the MVP.
And my last question for you, Zach, it's about Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson.
Stop talking about that guy. I don't want to even talk about him. He's done. He's dead to me.
Why is Mitchell Robinson dead?
He gets injured every second. Don't even bring him up. He's not part of the future. Trade him.
I think the issue with that is I think that's obviously recency bias, and I've seen it with a lot of Knick fans, where they're upset of Mitchell Robinson's, how he is so injury prone. But if you're looking at before this season, Mitchell Robinson missed around 20 games in the 2 seasons he played.
Okay. But he's played in those seasons. He played 5 minutes a game. He played no minutes. That's why
he played 20 minutes per game in those 2 years. But I think with Mitchell Robinson, with him, what's so special about him is we talk about Obi Toppin. He'll always have his athleticism. But Mitchell Robinson's size plus his athleticism with the position he plays at, and of course his defense that's just elite.
Yeah, but he can't play any minutes. He's too injury prone, man. You're way too optimistic.
All right, question: if Mitchell Robinson gets a floater, what are your thoughts on Mitchell Robinson?
Mitchell Robinson isn't developing a floater. He has no skill. He's a skillless player. He's like Clint Capella.
But Clint Capella just got $22 million.
I don't care how much they pay Clint Capella. I'm saying he's no skill. He can't do anything. He can't shoot.
You saw what he did against us, so.
Yeah, that's because we didn't have a lot of size.
All right, Zach. This is the actual last question. When is James Dolan leaving?
I'm a huge James Dolan fan, actually.
You're a huge James Dolan fan. If you're a Knick fan and you're watching this right now and you're a James Dolan fan, please let me know. Because I think my roommate is having some issues right now, and maybe I'll link him up with you to talk about your love for James Dolan. But yeah, that's really it. Zach, any words? Say goodbye to the people?
Shout out my mom.
All right. I hope you guys enjoyed. Zach wanted to be in a video real quick. I was, talking about the Knicks as 2 Knick fans. Zach maybe had a little excessive opinions on the Knicks, but you guys could let me know down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.